Hi, welcome to the world of plants. Let us start from algae. Algae basically classified on the basis of their pigments. Green algae, chlorophyceae, brown algae, phaeophyceae, red algae, rhodophyceae. So generally when you talk about algae will be there in aquatic, terrestrial, and some are parasite, like we discussed earlier. It is cephalurus or tea leaves, or they are in symbiotic mode also, as it is present in lichen, and some are even epiphytes. You know what epiphyte means? Like they just depend on another host only for their shelter. They don't take food, so they just grow on some other body for the sake of getting a place to live. And here coleochaete is one of the best examples for epiphyte. So when we talk about an aquatic environment, they'll be in marine as well as freshwater. Marine means they are the basic producers. At least in freshwater, angiosperms will grow, and some along with some pteridophytes and bryophytes. But marine environment means algae, only algae. They are the major producers in that environment. So when you talk generally about algae, they you can even see from a colony, like they form a round ball like colonies to a giant kelps, like laminaria and all. They just grow in some meters, and such a big size, but there is no any root, stem, and original leaf like, root like, and stem like. It just goes on, but there is no any original form like this, because they don't have vascular bundle. They belong to thallophyte. There is no vascular bundle. And when you talk about, see, they are autotrophs, especially they are autotrophs. And but this autotrophs means generally in a cell you have more number of chloroplasts, so in higher category. But when you talk about algae, each cell has one chloroplast, that is its uniqueness. And they have chlorophyll A, B, and even next category phaeophyceae, rhodophyceae, they have a chlorophyll. A is universal pigment. They have a C or D carotenoids, xanthophylls, fucoxanthin, and all these contents are present. So, and when you talk about the cell wall, it is of cellulose. Generally, all plants have got their cell wall in made of cellulose. Apart from that, they have some pectin, alginic acid, and other things are present. And some colony forms here. You just can see a mucilaginous covering in that. We'll see. And the storage, they have a special item, pyrenoids, to store the starch, protein. Sometimes the oil also could be stored in pyrenoids. They've got a vacuole, they've got a nucleus, everything well developed. And when you talk about the reproduction, they have all the three modes as we discussed for other category: vegetative, asexual, and sexual. Vegetative means here it is fragmentation, because in high tide zones or low tide zones, when they are going, they come across with animals, they just get cut, and then each cut portion will become a new plant. That's called fragmentation. And asexual spores are generally zoospores. They are motile, and with the flagella they'll just go. And sexual reproduction is isogamous, anisogamous, and oogamous. This we discussed already. Morphologically and physiologically similar, only morphologically similar, morphologically varied here. And here oogamy, both morphology and physiology is different. So this we discussed already. So when you talk about economic importance, generally economic importance, I said already, they are the major producers in marine environment, and they are food. They are used as a food. They are used as a fodder, especially I said the laminaria, and also huge. They are called as even giant kelps, and they've been used for as a fodder, animal fodder, for so many years, and they have a very good industrial use, especially when you talk about microbiology lab. You just can't think about the microbiology cultures without agar. Agar is a basic solidifying agent in microbiology lab, from gracilaria and gelidium kind of a thing. And here the industrial uses carrageen present in the carrot color, you can imagine that red algae, and this is used in toothpaste, paints and other things. And alginic acid, I said, and it is from the laminaria ascophyllum, and it is used in paints and other things. And fertilizers, Cara is the plant just very rough. It is covered by calcium carbonate, very hard to see, and this is a very good fertilizers. The Cara is a bit advanced form of chlorophyce even. Let us see. So this is all about the general characters. But I said that actually the algae have been classified into three major categories according to Whitaker. Otherwise you have other categories too. He made it only green algae, brown algae and red algae, and you have some similar and dissimilar points between these three categories. Under this, let us today discuss only about chlorophyce, because chlorophyce has got lot of variation in their body. Actually we were talking about still some people consider the unicellular algae like Chlamydomonas, Chlorella are all under algae, but according to Whitaker it has gone to Protista. So let us start from this colonial forms. They form a colony. They just form a colony like around so many single cellular algae with the flagella would be collectively formed and interconnected with the cytoplasmic strands and covered by a mucilaginous sheath, and they just move like a ball in the ocean and or in the freshwater form, like they just be in a huge colonies, and this is colony. And then when you talk about from colony, it is slightly elevated in evolution. They form a single filament structure. That's it, the filament with the cells, and each cell will have a chloroplast, and the chloroplast is variously shaped. As I said, sometimes it is spiral shape, sometimes it is ladder shape, sometimes it is cup shape. Like the chloroplast shape is totally different when compared to the higher category of angiosperms. And here see, it is filament, single filament, and slightly it is evolved further with the filament with the branches. In Cladophora there is a branch. Then when you go to the next stage, it is evolved further. In Eulothrix you can see these are all will be just moving on the water current. That's it, whether it is in the marine environment or in a fresh water, they just float. But when you talk about this Eulothrix, it is evolution, because all this category doesn't have a vascular bundle, so it will be just floating, taking water, like just diffusing or osmosis kind. There is a transfer, and but here they've got a fixative kind of a cell. So one cell, the division of labor is existing, this cell will become slightly huge and trying to fix the plant and fixed it, and this is Eulothrix. Like this is all an indication that in future the plant would be fixed on the soil. So this is called hold fast. So when you come to the next category, the highermost category of chlorophyce member, here you have a Cara plant. This is Cara. Cara just look like a higher category, and it has got a well developed rhizoids. It is not root because there is no vascular bundle. And look at this, this is the branches and these are the leaves, and you can have internodes and all that. So it is beautifully fixed, and all these leaf like structure and stem like structure are all fully covered by calcium carbonate, become very hard. And even here you can see in the reproduction they've got a separate sex organs. male sex organ, and male is called globule and female is called nucleus, so it is a very well developed chlorophyce member. And these are the evolution from the lower category. Gradually it moves to this, and when you come down to phaeophyce and rhodophyce, you have a beautifully frond like formation. Let us see in the next one. And when you talk about the pigments, pigments are very important: chlorophyll A, B, and carotenoids. And cell wall is purely of cellulose, there is no any additions, and reserve food is starch. And flagella, generally the flagella are 2 to 8, equal size and apical in position. That's what I've just given here. It is apical, it is not on lateral side, apical. And reproduction, as it is, vegetative fragmentation, asexual, zoospores. Sexual mode, they have gametes. Gametes with flagella, gametes without flagella, but they are of same size. So for the same motile gametes, that is the flagella is present in eulothrix. In case of non-motile, there is a spirogyra. Spirogyra is this one, wherein the spiral shaped chloroplast, that's the name indicating. So this is the general account of an algae, and the first group, chlorophyce. Chlorophyce only has got lot of variation in their morphology and as it is evolved. And as far as the chlorophyll is concerned, A and B, this is the character present in higher category angiosperms too. So this is about, so the names, economic importance and the names of this is very important in exam point of view. And the reproductive structure of this even we can discuss under the reproduction of plants. Okay, so that's all about this chlorophyce member and general account. If you have any doubt, you please pass your comments and subscribe too. Thank you.